stay up late, so it's not really out of the usual. But yeah, I was up. I didn't see it.
How did you react? Were you watching the end of those games to see that it became official in the moment?
Yeah, I watched the end of them. Honestly, my reaction was I turned it off and I went to sleep. I didn't even check my phone until.
First ever Coach of the Month in franchise history. Christie sides. Got questions in the room? Where would like to start, Tony? And we'll just keep in the front row. Bob, there next.
Did last night feel how you thought it would? Were you already asleep? When did you officially find out that you made it?
Yeah, I was asleep. I'm going to bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock every night, but I did set my alarm for midnight to wake up and actually just turned it off, didn't even look, and then so this morning woke up to some really awesome text messages.
Why didn't you look at midnight?
I don't really know. I don't know. I've tried to just stay focused on this team and it make it about us. And, I just thought one of them would just not get the win and then we could win at home, win in this game tonight. That would be really incredible for the fans.
To be honored for your coaching abilities on the same day, I mean, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, that was an unexpected surprise. That was, today's been an unbelievable day. From where we were in the month of May to where we are now, it's just shown with our players and our staff, just the resiliency that we've had and just their, just continuing to just do what we have to do, show up and get better, and that's what we've done.
Go Chloe, then Matt.
Kind of when it comes to, you said you were kind of hoping to clinch tonight. Were you hoping for a more ceremonious clinch than, midnight on a Tuesday?
Yeah, I just thought, we've got such amazing fans that are, coming in, and just for them to be a part of that with a win. And then, I've experienced this in Chicago, and, the confetti that falls when you clinch, like that was all the things I was thinking about. And that was for our team who's never experienced it, especially Kelsey Mitchell, who I just really am really happy for her getting to experience this with what she's gone through here and what she's done and who she is.
I also wanted to ask about Temi. She's obviously questionable with that shoulder injury. Just when did that happen, or do you anticipate her playing tonight? Yeah, she took the play at the end of at the Dallas game when she kept playing and got the rebound and put it back. She got knocked to the floor pretty good. Just being precautious, and she's not going to play tonight. We're just going to make sure she's ready to go when she's 100%.
We'll go Matt, then we'll go Bob.
Yeah, further along with the clinch, I was just wondering when you got in the building this morning and up until now, what have been some of the most notable interactions that you have with your staff, players about this milestone?
Yeah, when I walked in with the staff, it was pretty incredible. We'd already been texting this morning early. But just where we've been and the way it feels to meet that first goal, which was to get to the playoffs. You just want to take a breath, but we have a game tonight, so we just really couldn't take that time to enjoy it because we have to stay, focused at the task at hand and make sure we keep getting better. Make sure we, these guys, if we would have focused on the results early, if our players would have only focused on the results, which the outside world was really concerned with early, I don't know if we would be sitting here today. We were able to keep it together, and they focused on the things that we kept talking about. We kept talking about creating good habits. We kept talking about relentless effort. We kept talking about togetherness, toughness. We focused on those things, and that's what mattered. And that's why we're sitting here today, able to say, with the opportunity to go play in the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
Go
Kind of answered my question, but I'll ask you this. During the month of May, was there a low point for you among several low points? I knew you would laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're a competitor. We're competitors. We want to win. And on top of all the outside noise, and expectations made it really difficult when there's just some people who, if you've not sat in the seat that I'm in or with the players, you don't understand the process that it takes to rebuild a team. And second year of a rebuild, that's where we are right now. Second year of a rebuild. And when I was offered the job, Rick Fuson at the time asked me how long it would take me to get us back to the playoffs. I said, Rick, I think I could do it in 4 years, possibly 3, but and he was awesome, gave me a 4-year contract. And we've done it in 2, which is incredible. And that has everything to do with our players, the people that we brought in. So yeah, there were some low moments in May, but we just tried to keep focusing forward, staying positive. That was the main thing, trying to keep things from going sideways. And my staff did an excellent job, and the players continued to buy into our process.
Go Christine and Scott.
Congratulations, Christie. There's certainly been a lot of naysayers out there about your team, about Caitlin, about you. And a day like today, like this, within 16 hours or whatever the time period is, I haven't figured it out, but you qualify for the playoffs, and then all these awards and honors. And, Ryan was emailing nonstop with with another announcement. And I thought, one of them I thought I'd already read, and then it was more for Caitlin or something. What kind of statement does that make about where you are and what maybe the league's perception or the outside world's perception was, and how wrong it all was? Thanks.
Yeah. The perception was we were not going to be very good, and I was not very good at my job in May. And that's okay. I mean, that's part of sport. Professional sports, a lot of teams, when teams win, it's the players, and when teams lose, it's the coach. And that's just what, I knew I signed up for that. Now, the atomic bomb that landed in with the fever and the outside, just how different it was, that was tough to navigate. Trying to make sure our players were not, they are social media people. This is their generation. And so, for them to be so affected by it, and just trying to explain to them, like, that's what we started. That was our first conversation in our team meeting. Just keep the noise out. Just do what we have to do to make sure we don't let that outside noise in. They did. We did. We kept pushing forward. And a day like today has just been incredible for our team. I mean, the only thing I wish is, I think Kelsey Mitchell was deserving of some award today. I wish we could have found another one for her. But she's going to always be, she got my award for how she's just been so consistent. And Caitlin and what she's done is just incredible. But I can say that about Aaliyah Boston. All these guys are playing with they're all talented, very young and talented. And so they're all trying to figure it out together. And a lot of times this happens with veteran players, that they get put on a team and they get to experience, the success that we're having right now, this second half of the year. But we're doing it with all drafted players. That's our starting lineup. All Indiana Fever drafted players, which I thought was an incredible thing. Somebody told me that today. But just excited where we are today, but we're not satisfied at all.
Scott, then Lou.
Christie, given how May went, as you discussed, have you considered what this year would have looked like given a regular schedule, a regular training camp, and you would have been able to get into things much earlier into the season like you usually would be able to?
Yeah, anytime if we would have had, a couple more weeks of practice, that would have helped. The schedule wasn't in our favor early, and now I'm so glad we had that schedule. Actually, I've been asked several times, would you want to have started off with other teams, not the top teams in the league? And I didn't really know how to answer that at first, just because, some momentum would have been good and some confidence, but I think the lessons that we learned early, and we were able to bounce back from some of those really hard times, I think that prepared us for now and where we are and moving forward.
Go Lou, then we'll go back to Andrew.
Just last week, I think I asked you to mention the playoffs. We kind of like, playoffs, what?
Yeah.
So it's a lot realer now. But should the rest of the league be scared of you guys right now?
I think the way we're playing, we can compete with anybody in the league, for sure. I think, we're just shooting the ball extremely well. We're moving the ball extremely well. We're playing much better defense, which is, that's what I kept telling them from the beginning during the break. Like, if we can get better on the defensive end, that's going to win games for us, and it has. I mean, the Dallas game, we got stops late. Connecticut game, we got stops late. they're buying into that end of the floor, which has just helped us so much on the offensive end of the floor as well. Getting those stops has allowed us to play play in transition, which, my gosh, like that's where I think we're at our best with the players that we have on the floor.
Got time for two more. Go Andrew, and then second row on the right.
Christie, Allison announces that she's stepping down at the end of the year today. What has she meant to you, and just what's her impact still within this organization, and just what's that legacy?
Yeah, Allison Barber is, I put her in that category of a powerful woman that empowers other women. That's what she's done for me. That's what she continues to do for our players. She's always trying to ask them, talk about what they're doing outside of basketball, what they're interested in, helping them connect with people that can help them grow their brand. If we need something, we ask her. She's all about, she runs and gets it done for us. It's going to be, I hate that she's leaving us, but my gosh, what she's doing is incredible. I mean, what she's going to do is something that's not, there's nothing like it. I don't think, from what she said, in the country, and she's going to get to grow it like she wants to grow it, and it's going to just benefit women and girls in every sport. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do, is grow young people, grow women, empower women, and help them do whatever they want to do for the rest of their lives, not just today.
The last one, George, go ahead.
We can all see the joy that your team plays with on the floor, the way they celebrate one another. How much has that led to this turnaround? How big a role has that played in the turnaround? And then also, arguably, your best player last year, Leah Boston, kind of leading that charge of selflessness. How does that affect the rest of the roster?
Yeah, I'll start. The joy piece has just been huge. Them getting an opportunity to get to know each other during the break changed, everything, the vibe in the locker room, around the gym. They had time to get to know each other. That's huge, and people don't understand that. You don't just step on a court and play basketball and everything connect. It just doesn't happen that way. Aaliyah Boston is, she's just that statue. She's not just our post player, but she's just that low post presence. Her defense for us has been incredible. I know she's not happy with the offensive production that she's had the last few games, and she is, pumped every night we win. I mean, that's the big goal, but she also wants to contribute to her team on both ends. And so, we talked to her a lot about some different things and over this week, but she wants to win. She wants to win, and that's the most important piece. And she's been a great leader for us in the locker room as well.
All right, thank you.
Last night when the clinch officially happened.
I stay up late, so it's not really out of the usual, but yeah, I was up, I did see it.
How did you react? Were you watching the end of those games to see that it became official in the moment?
Yeah, I watched the end of them, honestly. My reaction was I turned it off and I went to sleep. I didn't even check my phone until the next morning, and that's kind of when I had the most messages and stuff, so definitely cool, especially like before we really, it doesn't have to come down to the wire for us. Like, I think that's special. Like, you can just really relax and play basketball and have a lot of fun, but for us, like, yeah, we accomplished that, but like there's still so much more left on the table that we can do. We can position ourselves better. We get 6 at home to have a lot of fun. Like, these are ones that are very winnable for us. So I think just still going one game at a time that has done so well for us to get to this point, I think that should still be the focus.
Chloe.
Yeah, Coach was saying she hoped maybe a little bit that one of them would lose so you guys could clinch tonight and have a little ceremony. Did you ever think about that?
No, honestly, it's just like, whatever makes it. I mean, it's all kind of very confusing. Like, I didn't even know until yesterday morning that was even a possibility of because there's just so much that goes into it of like us winning and other teams, winning or losing. So the sooner it happens, the better for us, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm not really into the party, so whatever happens, happens. I mean.
Go Matt, then we go Christine.
Yeah, Christie was saying that she was texting her assistants this morning, so kind of the same question I asked her, but what was the most notable interactions that you had with your teammates, with Christie, any of it today?
I mean, obviously, like, this is a big moment for this organization. It was the longest, playoff drought in, WNBA history, if I'm not mistaken, so it's definitely a big moment for this place, but at the same time, like, I came in with the expectation that this is what's going to happen. Like, for me, this isn't like a party. Like, yeah, it's great. I feel like it's a great accomplishment, but like, there's so much more left to be done. Like, yeah, we made the playoffs. There's 6 regular season games. I mean, I'm not just happy to be in the playoffs. I think we have the type of team that can win advance, going one game at a time. So I think that's what it is for all of us, is like, yes, celebrate it, enjoy it. Like, it is really huge for this organization. Not having been to the playoffs since Tamika was here, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a long time. And I think I'm definitely most happy for Kels. Like, Kels has been at this place for 7 years and, you know, has never been to the playoffs. So she definitely deserves this moment. And obviously she's been playing really good basketball too. So she's definitely, you know, helped us earn it.
Well, Christine and Scott.
Caitlin, in addition to all this, there have been the awards for you, and like I said it with Christie, the emails kept coming so much, I felt I'd already read one and then there was more. What does that mean to you? I realize the team is huge and that's where you are now, but especially with the way things were going, some of the naysayers and the negativity that was out there about you, to have what's happening now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool and special. I feel like I've had an opportunity to kind of adjust and get comfortable, and I feel like I'm starting to play good basketball. At the same time, I feel like there's still so many ways that I can continue to improve and get better for this team. But at the same time, like, I felt like Kels probably should have got a little love. I honestly thought she probably should have been player of the month. Just what she was doing, and at the clip she was doing it, I think she was like 50, 40, 90 this month, which is really, really hard to do. So I feel very fortunate to play with her, and honestly, I'm not even trying to be corny, like, I really think she deserved it. So I think sharing that with her, and I feel lucky to have, you know, a kind of a backcourt mate that has been, you know, through this for 7 years and has really helped me and kind of let me flourish, and same with Christie. And but at the same time, it is cool, and you know, I think Christie has definitely allowed me to be myself, and kind of, you know, figure out this team, figure out how to be successful, and hasn't really held me back from, you know, kind of what I did in college. Yes, sure, is breaking some habits and getting used to some things that you do differently professionally, but at the same time, like, I didn't lose what made me really good, and tried to bring that here and replicate that for this team too.
Well, Scott, then we got a few on Zoom.
Caitlin, given that you said you expected playoffs, they posted where you just said smile before the season. What was the thought with that?
Well, everybody had already written playoffs, so I was like, that's like not even original at this point, because I was like the last person to get my picture taken when we had gotten there. So I was like, I don't really know what to write. Like, everybody else wrote playoffs, and like, obviously that's my goal. And I felt like, you know, just smiling, and now looking back through everything that's like happened and how this year's played out, I feel like there weren't many moments to smile at the beginning, but I think making it through that and smiling and finding the good in every single day, and just reminding myself of I get to play basketball at the highest level, I think has, you know, allowed me to be in this moment and be back and take this organization to the playoffs. And, you know, that brings a lot of smiles too, but also, like, I think it was for myself, but also for, like, for other people, like, bring them joy and help them smile and make their day better. Like, I feel like I was able to do that even when we were 1-8, and doing that now as we are 17-16 or whatever our record is. And I feel like when I do that, I not only am a great basketball player, but I'm a great person. You know, I bring joy to other people's lives and bring joy to my teammates. So I think for myself, it was like a reminder of that helps me, you know, do really good things on the basketball court, but even more importantly, off the basketball court too.
Go on Zoom, Mike Volpel, then DJ. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Caitlin, how much is just the fishbowl you've been in now for really very much for 2 years, but even before that, how much did that help? You'd gotten so used to pressure even before the WNBA. Did that help in terms of getting through that first month?
For sure. To be honest, like, I feel like I'm pretty used to this pressure at this point, pretty used to the spotlight, and I feel like it's just like kind of a challenge for myself, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Like, I would never want that to change. But I mean, like I said, like, I felt like obviously that start, like, it really was difficult, but for our group, like, we never hung our heads. Like, it was something that we continued to rise to the level of what everybody expected of us, but we didn't also care about that at the same time. It was almost, we were able to block out the noise, and that's what allowed us to be really good. It was just a matter of, like, when we were going to figure it out, and certainly that moment has come. It's just continuing that and not letting that go away. Obviously, we're playing really good basketball right now and shooting the basketball really well, especially, and every basketball player knows, like, that's only going to last for so long. There's going to be days that become a little tougher to make shots. It's like, what are you going to rely on when that happens? So I think that's what we're going to see, what this team is made of when that day does hit, because yeah, it's great to be shooting, you know, over 40% as a team, but there's gonna be games where that's just not happening. That's just basketball at the end of the day. That's just statistics. So, but yeah, I think for myself, like, you get used to this pressure. I think at times you can definitely feel it a little bit, but you just remind yourself you've been in these moments before and fall back to the confidence of the work that you put in. And I think that's where it always goes to for myself.
Got the last two, DJ on Zoom, then Brad in the back.
Caitlin, question. You spoke about the expectation of getting in the playoffs and winning a round. What is it you want to see from this team to improve on before the regular season ends to actually win in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think there's still so many areas we can continue to improve. I think our defense can be better. Obviously, we gave up over 90 points to the Wings, and we scored 100. And we scored 100 with 20 turnovers, and I felt like we still missed quite a few bunnies too. So for me, like, that's exciting. You know, if we take care of the ball a little bit better and make the easy ones around the rim, I felt like we could have easily been over 110. So I think there's just stuff we can continue to do better offensively. You know, improve defensively. Our defense has obviously gotten a lot better. I think we were, you know, the 5th best defense in the league this month, which was, you know, such an improvement for our group after, you know, coming off the Olympic break. And that was honestly our main focus over the break, was getting better at defense. It wasn't always fun during practice, or we just did defense for an hour straight, but you can definitely see it pay off. And I think we're beginning to just work as a unit rather than a one-on-one defenders, and that's what it's going to take for us. I think just continuing to play team defense and relying on our teammates' help is going to be the best thing for us.
Last one, Brad in the back.
Caitlin, watching the team during practice, during shoot-around, there seems to be a lot of fun being had with this group. How has this stretch the last couple of weeks just brought a lightness to this team? Just seems the whole thing just seems to be a little lighter.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fun to win. That definitely makes everything better. That makes the coaches' lives better, makes our lives a little better. But also, I think because we're having fun, that's why we are being so successful right now. I think you can tell the relationships we've built with one another as teammates, as friends, like, that's definitely carried over onto the court, and the way we're playing for one another and the passion we're playing with and the way we celebrate our teammates' success. I think that's the best way to play basketball. And you know, even though this is our job, we want to keep it fun every single day, and I think this group does a really good job of that. And obviously we have a lot of young players that are, you know, good in that regard, and the older players get a kick out of us young people, especially Kels and Ida. Like, they give us a lot of crap. So I think, you know, that's the best way to keep it fun and light and, you know, not take it too seriously.
All right, thank you, everybody.